White Whale Brewery. I was reflecting on my way over here, as I am wont to do, that there aren't that many new White Whale breweries coming around, are there? I
No,
mean, you don't hear anybody go, "Hey, did you hear about this brewery? It's really good." Everybody in the brewery is like hunkering down because sales are down, and RTDs are taking over the whole market.
I I have a working theory on that too. It's kind of
Well,
like with music. There's
well,
no there's
share it.
there's no band like Led Zeppelin or the Beatles now. There's just not. There's no bands that are. It's because now everybody can do it.
Well,
There's not
you're
that
saying that it's
exclusivity.
AI, or are you saying that people are just more skilled or than they used to be?
I think there's just too much. Everything's
I'm gonna argue just a little bit about that point with talking about the old bands versus new bands. I At the festival I went to, there's a band called the Wood Brothers, and I thought, it's a bluegrass festival. Silly me. I thought they were a bluegrass band, and the only thing bluegrass about them was they did have a stand-up bass part of the time. But the guy played it better than I've almost ever seen anybody play a stand-up bass. And I've seen a lot of people play stand-up bass. So anyway, they were more like early Genesis, where they were like playing weird music and then making the words that you had to think about. Hate that, and so forth. So I mean, there are bands. They're just few and far between that are actually creating good new music. And then again, I think the problem is that we've started with the blues, we rolled into the rock, the country's out there, and now we have too many genres.
yeah, well, yeah.
Too
I mean,
it's
that's yeah.
diluted.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's just completely diluted and it throws everything off. I think you run into the same thing with breweries
Yeah, I think that's what's
because
going
everybody
on
wants to
here.
open a brewery.
Um, and I was in I went to Asheville just to go to I went out of my way about an hour and 15 minutes of driving that day to where we meet my brother at Hendersonville, which you should pull up. It's a great beer town. But we went in there, and but we did end up I pulled off to see if the campground I like, the one down by the river, it's Wilson's campground RV park right by the river. And I did pull off at that exit to see if it was going to be open because we were thinking about camping. We couldn't find a spot near Asheville. And sure enough, it's not. But it was completely wiped clean. I mean, basically, the cement slabs are there and nothing else. I mean, even like the plug-ins and the water faucets, all gone. But they're working on it. They had equipment in there, and they did say we will be reopening. But so then the point of this part of the story is that I was riding along the river, and man, oh man, they took a butt whipping. I mean, there's whole buildings just gone. Then there's buildings just boarded up and destroyed. But they're coming back, like Chimney Rock. They're coming back, and fortunately, Burial and Wicked Weed, some of the others are on the what they call the South Slope, which is basically a big hill that goes up Nashville. And so those are all still there. I'm sure they had to close for a while because I mean the roads were closed, everything else. But it was great though to go in there and actually um see what's going on.
I'd be curious to know because I mean, New Belgium, they have their location down in Asheville, and they got smacked. Like they had posted footage during the hurricane, and like the water was all the way up to like above the door to the building. And
But
so I
I think the brewery itself was higher, but I'm not sure of that. I've only been there once. They have a really nice outdoor bar, and bar their tap room is surrounded by
no, the
patios.
brewery's on bottom because you there's that slide to get down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part, we were there, Liz was talking about, we didn't see signs or anything, so maybe they're not back open. But Liz was laughing because the last time we were there, it was probably, we travel off prime time, so it's probably like a Sunday evening. And we were in there, got our beers, went out, and it started to rain. So we went out they had these covers, the covered areas with picnic tables. We went over there and sat down, we're drinking our beer. Well, it was right at closing time, probably quarter of seven, 10 till seven. And they come out, they roll up the awnings that were protecting us from the rain. We're like, well, now that's a subtle hint. It's time to go. But anyway, that's how they treat you there.
Yeah,
That's what happens when the employees own it. They can do what they want, right?
yeah, it looks like they did open up by the end of last year. So
Okay.
I will.
So Burial, I went to Burial when it was just a shack. You know, they had a building, and we went there at the beer bloggers. I think it was like 12 years ago, and went in, and the owner was there. We were out in the loan dock, and he was dancing, and he was like throwing us merch off the loan dock. Well, I go back now, and it's like super duper, um, you know, built up. It's got, a lot of areas. And now I looked it up on my way here, and it's not showing up right here right now, but they got sold, but I think they got sold to one of the beer consortiums, not like it wasn't bought by InBev or
Not
somebody.
AB InBev.
Somebody that owns other breweries, maybe Avery. I don't know. They consolidate, a lot of consolidation in the beer industry, which is probably an okay thing. Again, harkening back to early years, there was a certain intimacy to be able to go in a brewery and talk to the brewer and, actually, maybe even taste something that he hadn't canned yet or bottled or put in kegs. That was cool, but you don't see that much anymore. If you do, it's a big event. Everybody wants to come.
Yeah, they've kind of moved. It's almost more like a compound now
Yeah.
because they've kind of got like a couple of those different buildings on the
I
facility.
will say that the employees are super duper nice. It's a little bit of boulderish. I mean, Asheville-ish, they all have a lot of metal in their heads, and I'm not the musical kind. And but they're super friendly. The beers were, amazing. They had, oh, just all kinds. I had a barley wine, everything you can imagine. And the food, we ordered a thing of their buffalo wings. And, I eat a lot of wings. These were extremely good. They were warm enough. The only negative is you didn't have blue cheese. I have to start carrying my own little pack of blue cheese. What, do you don't like blue cheese?
I don't like blue cheese.
Oh, see, you're making that face. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, here comes Nate with
I'm
his
not a
hate,
fan of blue.
food hate. Nate's got a lot of food hate.
I've only
I just
had.
hate lima beans. I like everything else.
I actually like lima beans.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why we're good together because
I'll
you know,
finish your lima beans if you're served them.
yeah, I'll trade you those for your blue cheese.
I'll eat just about any bean.
I'll eat blue cheese straight. I'll just eat it. Put it on a cracker.
I don't. I'll eat it. Like if a dish comes with it, I'm not gonna ask for him not to put the blue cheese on
Well,
there.
that's because you're
But
not really mellow. You never ask anybody for anything.
this is true.
Some of you be
But
catching your foot on fire and you'll be like, I'm just going to move away. It's
yeah,
on fire, but I'm just going to step away. I'd be like
well yeah.
kicking him in the face. There's your fire, buddy. That's the difference between us.
But
I'll just take me with you and I'll help you, or vice versa.
I think we travel well together,
We
Huck.
did. We had a great time. Nobody got arrested. Nobody had to go to the hospital. These are all good things.
I have a friend recently who was down in Atlanta and he ended up drinking a bit too much and had to go to the hospital.
That's a lot of drinking a little too much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
What was his blood elk?
I don't know.
Three,
They didn't take it up
four.
because he had to go to the hospital.
Well, they take it at the hospital.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Well, let's pretend we're a doctor and they'll tell us.
You, it would have had to have been high because
Yeah.
he blacked out.
Well, yeah. And normal people about a two, one, two, four, somewhere in there, you black out. Alcoholics like me, I can go to three something. And real serious alcoholics like one of my brothers, four. He's clocked at 4-4 before.
Oh,
He was in the hospital. And
oh,
yeah, that's big. I mean, but normal people, a little over two, they start passing out, you know.
yeah. I haven't done that since college, mercifully, and I don't think I ever cared to do it again.
I actually have a breathalyzer. I hardly ever use it.
Go for the high score.
Yeah. They put one in a bar in the bars. I'm not trying to remember. It might have been Colorado. Somewhere I went, and they ended up taking them out because that's what people were trying to do to get the highest score. And they figured, well, that's kind of counterproductive from our
Yeah,
intent.
yeah, exactly.
For 50 cents, you can find out what the highest, what your score is. And I seriously, whenever I was at that bar, they kept running out of the little mouthpieces, having to refill it. I mean, people were just going over playing it like it's a slot machine. It was hilarious. But yeah, you be careful what behavior you reward. You might not like that. Let's see what else. Okay, so anyway, they have a bus there, which I remember from being there. That bus was there, like a VW bus. I think it had doors when I was there. It does not now. and it's got stickers all over it. I did not put a sticker on. Actually, I was on my last three stickers
Oh,
when I got there. Now I have a new batch just came in the other day, and I didn't change them. I guess tradition.
it is tradition.
So
I don't think you need
I
to.
did change my sunglasses. I have on my new white ones,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
white and red. I got red as well, but red was the original. I like the white. It blends with my beard. I think
It does.
that's the thing to do. So if you have red hair, I'll give you a pair of red ones. But if you have that color red, it's not real.
No. And white's a whole lot harder to lose than
True.
if you get your black or your brown
Well, that's
sunglasses.
when I get like any parts I get for the kayak, I always get white.
I had a pair of transparent
Well,
ones,
red's okay on the water,
and
maybe.
those were
Yeah, they're impossible to find.
like, yeah, you dropped that in the bottom of the lake. I mean, they were free, so it's not like it was a major loss, but I thought they were cool.
My favorite sunglasses ever were wood grain. I think they came from Star Hill, somebody like that. It was a brewery.
Were they actually wood?
They look like wood.
Yeah, I've got a pair of wood grain. They're Panama Jacks though.
These were the best sunglasses ever, and I lost them. But I did one time drop them off the kayak in the lake, and couldn't find them. And then the next day I came back. If you come back in the morning, you can see like 6 feet deep,
Yeah,
and I did find
everything's
them.
settled.
I found them. So that's going on.
I saw someone one of those like internet life hacks. And I just every time I see this, I'm like, this is dumb. Who's got the supplies to actually make this work? But it was if you like lose your keys or something in like a body of water, instead of just like fumbling around, you take like a clear plastic bag, fill it with water, and put it down in the water, and then you can see around. But it only works like up to a certain depth, obviously.
You're right. That's a lot of work.
Like, but thank God I had my bag of water with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's not how this works.
The only thing we use, well, I guess we use clear bags for sandwiches and such, but we do use clear garbage bags for like when we're getting ready to take clothes to the Goodwill or whatever, because then you don't accidentally throw them in the trash.
That's a good move. I've definitely thrown things designated for donation in the trash before and still haven't lived it down. Um,
Well, I mean, we are still downsizing.
I'm a big fan of downsizing. Just get rid of everything you don't
No,
need.
you don't need it. But then again, every once in a while, like I needed a HDMI cord, and it's like, I think there's one in this compartment of the RV that came with a monitor. I break a lot of monitors and opened it up, and sure enough, I had one. The reason was is I wanted to play my game, my Switch, and I also have a TV that I hooked to my laptop because I'm old and can't see, and I have a bigger screen for that. But I also use it for the game. So I got one of those switches so I can go back and forth instead of like trying to plug it in. There's two ways to plug it in. So you try it this way, it doesn't work.
Yep.
You try it the other way, it doesn't work. And then you try it the third time and it works. I don't know how that is possible.
It shouldn't be.
It's magic.
Permanent state of flux.
USBs are, at least with an HDMI, it has a shape.
Yeah,
A
like you can
USB
clearly
doesn't
tell.
have a shape.
You can't
I mean,
accidentally.
people hate on Apple, but at least their plug works either way. Just plug it in. Well, unless it says, "Oh, this is not a OEM product. Please remove this from my
Hate that.
butthole." But you can't.
I hate when that happens.
I hate a
I
lot.
love those switches though. I've had one for a long time and it's
Are
very
you thinking
useful.
about the Switch 2 or not?
Uh, well, I meant the monitor
Yeah, the
switcher,
monitor
but
Switch.
no, I'm not gonna get the Switch 2 until they announce a Zelda game. I will when they do, but
Yeah, if they have a new game and that's the way you got to play it, I probably will
exactly.
too.
But right now they're still launching what I want on the Switch, so
Yeah,
I'll roll along with it.
you're gonna be old school like me before you know it.
No, I never have the current generation because what happens is like I waited forever to get the Switch. I got it for really cheap.
Oh, I did too.
So I like to wait. I don't need to play it right now. Just kind of avoid spoilers on the internet. It's fine.
Yeah, and I don't you know, I don't know. I do that with a lot of things. I try to buy things. Yeah, I would get them refurbished. That's usually good too.
Yep. And I'd say the other thing, the reason I would hold off, well, the Switch 2 plays Switch games. Mercifully, it is reverse compatible. But before they did that, my policy was always to wait until I was really done with the system because I would trade them in or sell them
Yeah.
and put that towards Because I mean that just feels like the most like economically responsible decision. Now they're reverse compatible, but back in the day they weren't, and it was always devastating. It's like, am I really done with this Sega Genesis?
Yeah, no. Well, I've only had I went right from Nintendo to the Switch.
Well, I was saying, and
The
that's
Nintendo box,
the
the old school.
the NES where you had Duck Hunt with
Yeah,
the
Duck Hunt.
gun
Yeah,
that'll
that's the one.
blind you.
I still
Yeah,
have the gun. Yeah, I kept the gun.
yeah, and that's something I lament from my childhood because there are some of those games that are worth quite a bit now.
Oh, I know, I know. I
Like,
threw away all the
and
Mickey
get
Mantle cards I had.
shouldn't have gotten rid of them,
Yeah.
but you live, you learn, and won't be doing that again. All right, we gotta get out of here. We're talking about the Switch. We got more beer to drink, and I'm just about done here. Do you want to rate these?
Yeah, let's do
He's
that.
Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped. I'm Big Nate Danger.
This is the whatever atomical,
Anatomical decomposition.
the Rotten Crow. Oh, I'm going to give it a 4.75. I did not have this one at the brewery. I think I gave almost everything at the brewery a 5. This is slightly not perfect.
All
I'm
right.
not a brewer. I can't tell you why, but slightly.
All right, so I've got the sudden encounter with the uneasy, the day trip double India Pale Ale. It's good. It's strong. It's burial. It's not gonna get a low score from me. It's a 4.75, and maybe we go a little heavy in between and drink some more burial beers.
Let's do that.
All
Play
right.
something that would vary. You got anything with Edgar Allan Poe in it?
I'm sure we can find something.
All right, there you go.
More Brewsday Tuesday coming up on 105.3 The Bear.
Isn't there a song? A song.